I think it's running now. How's it going, guys? I am gonna make this video very quick. It's sort of like an introduction to how I would go about vlogging and showing like the behind the scenes of what I'm doing in regards to content, in regards to the coaching that will happen in the next couple of weeks. I don't know. I just want to like show the journey and document most of the things that are happening in my life. And it's going to be a thing of a weekly ritual where I would share the wins, the challenges, and questions for you to ponder on as you go into the week or day or whatnot. Whenever I release the content, I would hope that I would release it on Saturdays. We'll see. But I would always create a habit of writing things down and highlighting the good things that happened, the bad things that happened, and what I learned from the week, pretty much. So I'm going to make this very quick. I have had a couple of really good reflection on certain things, and I'm going to start with the good things, the wins of last week and some weeks before last week. So I got my social security number, which means I can start and have my own business now, which means I can do anything legally in my own name, and it's very convenient. I just got my EIN. It's the employment identification number, if I can recall, and it helps with giving you a number for the taxes and registers you with the IRS so that you are able to start your business, and whenever you make money they take whatever tax cuts they're going to do from that. But it's a long time coming, and I'm glad that I have the privilege now to have this. I feel very American, because I'm not American, just so you all know. I'm from Nigeria, and everyone calls me Bello. I've been called Bello since I was like 3 years old. So it feels surreal that I'm actually living this reality now, and I'm grateful, and I'm honored. Another one is I actually went to the bank, Chase Bank, and started making inquiry and making a business account and credit card, because obviously I need to start building my credit. Now that I have my SSN, it makes sense to start building my credit. And now that I am still in my 20s, build my credit up to like 800. I would like to think that I'm very responsible when it comes to money, and because I live below my means. I always live below my means, and it's one of my motto of living, living below your means, and you would always succeed. Or don't have unnecessary expenses. It's just not the way to live life. If your goal is to please other people and not to focus on what really matters and what will grow you as a human being or a person. So I was at Chase Bank. I'm going to get my credit card today, and then the business card will happen a day before I launch my coaching program, where I will coach people in regards to building their social skills, confidence, getting rid of anxiety, knowing how to communicate with people, knowing how to read body languages, and how that is very important when it comes to cold approaching and even speaking to people in general. I think that's very important. It's crucial to understanding. So things like that, and creating that business card would make sense, because I would then have an account for just the business. So when I get money, it's easier to manage with that, and I can pay taxes and all of that business related stuff, if you will. And yeah, I'm excited for that. Anyways, I mentioned I got my EIN, and as a sole proprietor for Forged Everyday, which is my brand name, which is my business name, Forged Everyday. Don't forget it. The slogan is train hard, connect deeper. So train hard meaning that you build yourself physically, your health, your fitness, keep on striving for longevity as a human being. Now that we're young, let's not take our health for granted. And then connect deeper means when you speak with people, especially now that the technology is becoming very, very advanced. Social interaction is very crucial. You need to know how to connect with people. Strive to be able to know how to speak with people and know how to build up people's skills, because it would help you It will open doors for you. It will create opportunities for you that you've never experienced before. So keep that in mind. And I have decided to incorporate weekly vlogs where I do this reflection and show myself building and working on Forged every day. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, more of like showing the behind the scenes and showing the journey and document so that I can see my growth and see the things that I'm learning. It's like my digital journal, if you will. Maybe one day in the future, make like a documentary, because my story is very interesting and I'm looking forward to seeing how that will go. In my 30s, in my 40s, in my 50s, in my 60s, I don't know. But let's worry about my 20s now, you get me? So yeah. So I started reading the Bible again, at least consistently from Genesis. So at the beginning of this year, I kind of like was flaking when it came to reading the Bible. Last year I read the whole Bible. However, I feel like reading the Bible is a consistent and continuous practice, because you learn new things. You know, you have new perspectives and you will see messages that you haven't seen before. I think it's very crucial. So reading the Bible, especially reading God's word, gives you that wisdom, gives you that knowledge, that understanding, you know, on how to navigate around this world. So yeah, it's very crucial. I'm looking forward to doing that again. I mean, I already started. I'm still at Genesis. I'm just kind of like taking my time when it comes to reading the Bible, not really rushing it. Not saying you have to finish reading the Bible by the end of the year. Just reading the Bible and let God guide you and let God point out those striking parts of it. So yeah. So I was doing strength training for 6 weeks, just so I can go through or know how it feels to go through a program. I love calisthenics. I think calisthenics is the key to longevity, because you're mobile, you're flexible, and that would help you in the long run rather than lifting weights. You know, I prefer body weight. And that's why the people from the Asian community, especially the Chinese and Japanese, they are very healthy. Not saying lifting weight is bad. It's good for you. You build muscles. However, calisthenics is for longevity. Anyways, the challenges that I faced last week, my car broke down and that costed me $650 to fix, and that was the money I had for my rent. It was unfortunate. However, being able to communicate with people, knowing how to have that good communication skills, I was able to talk to my landlady, who gave me the grace. That's why knowing how to communicate is very important. Being a people's person and knowing how to use your words to make the other person understand and then give you grace in this scenario, it's very crucial. I've been working at the convenience store and it's still making me relapse a lot. I'm surrounded by junk foods. It's difficult. You know, the first step to actually eradicating an issue when it comes to stopping the bad habits, you need to stop being around that. If you want to stop using your phone at night, you need to keep your phone away from you, far away from you. And then you will gradually get the habits of not always looking to get to your phone whenever you're about to go to sleep. So being around that is not helping at all. In the Bible, God said, avoid temptation at all costs. Like, don't be around temptation. We, as human beings, we are weak. We're not strong enough to resist temptation. So the first step is to not put yourself in that circumstances that you would have to then succumb and sin and relapse and things as such. So me being at the convenience store, me having to work there and being around all of those foods that are not good for your health and sugar that are not good for your health, it's so difficult. This is the big challenge that I'm facing and I want to eradicate. So I'm thinking me speaking about it now and me documenting it would then prompt me to strive to avoid it at all cost. When I'm craving sugar, I'll just write my thoughts. Why am I craving sugar? What's the cons and what's the pros and things as such? Yeah, the question that I want you to ponder on is, if you could stop what you're doing and you're given the opportunity to focus on one thing you've been wanting to do this month or this week, what would it be? Ponder on that. I'm grateful and I'll see you on the next one, eh? Train hard, connect deeper. In a bit.